right. Welcome back to the Charlie Brown channel. No, to the Knives Fast channel. It's time for another edition of KFLive, Knives Fast Live number 83. 83. And you can say hello to Ren and Stimpy and Powder Toast Man, Log TV, Charlie Brown, Gimli, and whoever else you want to say hello to. So, yeah, so let's get started, guys. We're going to have some guests tonight as the night goes on. And we'll add one here in just a couple minutes. And then we got one or two more that might one that is coming and one that might come here in a little bit. So in the chat, I see G-Ball. At the in-laws, I see Demonock, Craig Hamilton, Tim B, Mike Curtis, KJ Gass, holy moly, David Iverson, David Helka, Mrs. Freak Show, hello, Rusty Knife Lover, hey, B Shady, Will B, Robert Douglas, Top Dog, hello. And I'm sure there's more. There's Tim B. Did I say Tim B already? Yes, I did. But hello again, Tim B. And yeah, so it is Monday night, the 10th of October, 2022. And it's time to have some fun. Yes, indeed. It is time to have some fun. I like having fun, so we're going to have fun. Sorry, I'm answering my sister. My sister has been went to a follow-up appointment today and had a good report from the doctor. So she's all celebrating and happy. And so I'm definitely going to answer that for sure. So if I look over here, that's what I'm doing. So she's very, very happy. 10/10 is your birthday. Well, happy birthday, Will B. Guess what, Will B? We'll talk about this here in a little bit, but there may be a birthday tomorrow. Hey, Christoph, what is going on? That would be me. Thor is there is awesome. What is awesome? That is awesome. Okay, yeah, for sure. There is Mr. Freak Show. Freak Show. What is up? So, guys, real quick, I'm just gonna start off by saying the Pinion packing crew is epic. We had Mr. Freak Show, Jeremy, and Mrs. Freak Show, Chrissy, and we had Todd Gorilla was there. And hey, Factors of Jack. Hey, Michael Morgan, what is going on? So yeah, we had a ton of, and obviously, guys, we had, unfortunately, Tyler was out of town and Ashlyn was at work, but we had Bradley, Trevor, and Scarlett all helping me. And there is zero chance we could have got everything done with 600 knives the way we did. Hey, Richard, what is going on? Richard Kasner, good to see you. Oh, thank you very much, Richard. I appreciate that. I really do. Yeah, so super awesome. It went really well. We did have some knives we called out. I'm already talking to Kubi about those, trying to see what they want to do. I sent them some pictures earlier. I'll probably send some videos here in a little while. I just didn't have time to do so, but you know, it's not a huge amount, but it's an amount I want to get settled and fixed. But most of them were phenomenal, and even the ones that have the issues, the action was great, the centering was great, everything was great. There was just some blade finishing things that weren't good enough in my opinion. So it's just the way it is. But yeah, thank you guys very much. You'd buy Opinion in seconds. Well, let me see where I end up, Burger and Blaze Burger, and we'll go from there, man. It's hard to say what I'm going to end up with, but I'll let you know. Now, for those that have been asking, there's been a lot of people asking. There will be Opinion drop. I'm going to get them out there, let everybody get them, make sure everybody's happy. So a week or two, probably 2 weeks, I would think. And we'll drop what's left. And I'm very excited to do so. There's been a ton of people today going, hey, I didn't get one of these. I want one. And that's pretty cool. So, and then the last thing, and then we got one of our guests ready to go here. The last thing I wanted to say is all of you got shipping notifications either yesterday or today. Today was some holiday. I don't know. It's Columbus Day or something. The guy that discovered a country that wasn't the country he gets credited for discovering. Did I say that? Anyway, so I thought I found a way around it by taking the packages to the university I work at, post office, and they said they would get a pickup today, but it doesn't look like they've been scanned yet. So guys, it is what it is. It's a holiday. There's nothing I can do about it. They'll get scanned tomorrow and they'll start on the way to you. It is what it is. And maybe Gonzo, I don't know the answer to that yet. All right, so we're going to bring two guests in at once. There's number one, Mr. Ben Belkin. Can we hear you, Ben?
Yeah, can you hear me? I hear you.
Good. And there's Bo. JB just left. He was there, and I see JB's dog. There he is. We'll just watch Bo. Maybe he'll say something to us.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, hey, just Bo will entertain. He'll entertain him just laying there.
So nobody be surprised. I'm warning you in advance. JB is grilling and talking on the stream. So if he just runs out,
yeah, I'll be up and down. I'll be up and down.
The food is burning or whatever. So
yeah.
What's going on, Ben?
Not much. What you making, JB?
Let's see. I think we're having ribeye and sockeye salmon.
Sockeye salmon. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever had sockeye. We just usually get the Atlantic whatever salmon around here because I'm nowhere near it. So.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I know, Christoph. I'm just saying. I just was being me. I'm saying. He gets credited with discovering America, and that's why we have a holiday today. That the post office couldn't move my packages. It's just salt. That's all. It's just salt. It's not a big deal. Don't you love, JB, that Mr. Arizona is always the one with the fire going in the background for looks, of course, but still.
Well,
I think it looks awesome.
You might. I don't know. When I came out here earlier, there was some smoke back there. I don't know what's going on. So who knows? We might have a couple of fires happening here. I don't know.
And we do have an early visitor tonight because I think she's trying to do stuff in her room. Come on. We'll talk. We'll see what you got here, and then you can go do whatever it is you're doing. This is Ashlyn, of course. You're not on camera. And then there's whatever his name is, Monty. Why did I do that? I just drew a blank. You want to tell us what this one is tonight?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think we got an angry bunny tonight. So this is number 16. He's kind of ticked off. I don't know what's going on. He's got a bad attitude.
He wanted to be 15, not 16.
He wanted to be 15, not 16, says JV. So, yeah, very cool. We'll give that one away tonight in honor of Mr. Angry Bunny here. Does he look angry to you? I don't know.
He's a little meh.
Little meh.
Yeah, it's all right. He'll get over
it. How y'all doing in the audience today, everybody?
Yeah.
It was a good Monday.
Shout out to ProX. Absolutely. Shout out to Bill. Brother Bill. Very, very good. Bill. So I got to tell Jason. I got to tell you guys about yesterday. I was finishing the last 30 and I packed up Jason had ordered a Pinion. Jason Brown, and that was a little tough moment there. I took out the little card that I have in each box and wrote a note to his wife. Yeah. So, I mean, that's a guy that wanted to make sure he supported me on this knife, and he, his family's getting it. So I wrote a note and just told her we've been praying for him and everything else, and tough stuff. So
most definitely.
I think he's not interested. Is what I'm picking up.
Oh, the bunny?
Yeah, it's just not into it.
It's because he wasn't given an opinion. That's why.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
Unfortunately, Casey, I don't think Bo's very interested either.
No, Bo does not look interested. Look, Ash, you think his dog's interested?
No. Yeah, he's just kind of he's there. He's there.
How old is Bo?
He's 12.
He's 12. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and he had a little hitch in his giddy up earlier, so
yeah,
he's feeling it like I am.
Leave me alone. That's what he's saying. So let's start with how did Blade Show go for you guys? Ben, I know we've talked a little bit. It sounds like it was a great show for you. Yep. See ya. Have a good one. How did it go?
Oh, it was great. For the folks who didn't go, let me just kind of sum it up.
Like me.
Well, they tried it in Long Beach last year, and I was there for that. I had not been to any of the ones in Portland. I think Salt Lake is more accessible than Portland just because it's more central than more in the corner. The airport's really nice. It's about 10 minutes from the convention center. The convention center's right downtown. There's hotels all around. There's places to eat and drink within walking distance.
Yeah, that's what
Downtown's
everybody. Yeah, that's cool that everything's kind of located downtown and there's plenty to do right there in walking distance.
Yeah, and it's like a
you could
really
eat,
clean
sleep,
city.
and shop within 10 minutes
Right.
without a
Yeah,
walk. That's a walk.
The city's really clean. Everybody's super nice. Like, I just was left with a really good impression before the show even started. And then the exhibit hall itself is really nice. They're almost done with the hotel attached to it. It wasn't open for this year. Presumably
Okay.
next year there'll be room block for that hotel. But if you missed that one, there's a bunch other. And as far as the show, I mean, it was crowded. I don't think I ever had a dull moment. And it wasn't too crowded or too intense like Atlanta is. And so if you're the kind of person who, values not just a selection of knives, but an opportunity to talk to people,
Yep.
like, this is a great show for you, honestly.
That's awesome. I'll have to
Yeah,
come next year.
The smaller shows are great for that. You get an opportunity to talk to people a lot more. And yeah,
I
definitely.
wanted
And
to
it's
come, but it turned out it was good that I didn't. So I kind of needed to be here this weekend. So it was important. So, but yeah. So we got a
And
lot of people in the chat sorry, Ben, real quick. Tim S, Nick Groff, Iggy. I know I saw more Mark Herrera, Brian from Blue Creek Knives, Paper Tiger, Iggy. Anybody else I missed? Welcome, everybody. Sorry, Ben. Go ahead, man.
No, I was going to say it's a smaller show, but don't
Right.
get the idea in your head that it's a small show. It's like it's a medium show, because I've been to small, like the one in Vegas, USN feels like a small show. The ICCE before it became Blade Texas kind of felt like a small show. I'd call this a medium show. And I think it will only get bigger once the reputation gets around that it was worth people's time and money.
Good. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, that'll be good. Demonox said that's how he felt about USN. Same thing.
Yeah, USN is probably even a little bit better opportunity to talk to folks. There just isn't as many folks to talk to.
Right.
But USN is a real personal show where you can spend time with people.
So
Yep.
you would say this. So you said this was bigger than USN.
I think so, for sure.
Oh, cool.
The USN is it's smaller square footage wise, and it's all tables with perimeter booths, where this was, maybe 1/3 booths, 2/3 tables.
Oh, okay.
And there was just more going on as far as I don't know, it's different, man. Like you're up in a conference room in the casino in Vegas, and so you got that stuff to do, which, love it or leave it. But being downtown Salt Lake, I thought was really neat. Like if you wanted to go hiking or something, you could walk to a trail, like right there in the mountains. You could see all the cool,
That's
like Mormon church stuff that was right downtown, like their whole campus, even though they were doing renovations on the main church building. I think couldn't really see what it looked like, but there's just a lot to do. And not only that, but the weather was freaking perfect.
Oh, it was gorgeous.
Yeah,
The weather was good.
That's awesome. Yep. And I want to shout out Gorilla right here. Left a comment there. Gorilla was my other Pinion packer, as I'm calling them. And he was awesome. So thank you, Todd, very, very much. Mr. and Mrs. Freak Show, Todd, and of course my family. Couldn't have done it without you guys. Thank you so much. And I feel comfortable and confident. There were a couple times because of stupid bank issues that I had that I had to walk away, and I felt comfortable having those guys there to keep going, checking because we had talked through what I was looking for, and they did awesome. So very, very good. Yep, Salt Lake isn't the worst city to be in, says Ann. Okay.
No, I mean, and that was just it. As far as, I guess, Atlanta, there's a lot of stuff right around Atlanta and stuff too, but as far as I'm concerned, it was much better as far as accessibility. than Long Beach by far. By
Okay,
a
cool.
long shot.
You can't. I mean, in Atlanta, it's like hard to walk to anything.
It is.
It's you got to walk across the damn freeway basically
Right.
to get anywhere.
Yeah.
So without a rental car, and it's June in Atlanta, so it's hot.
Yeah.
You know?
It was
You're
pretty
kinda
warm, yeah.
You're kind of stuck in the Renaissance unless you have a car.
I think most of what we did was walk across the bridge and go to the mall over there, and that was about it, right, JB? It's just
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But in where we were located in downtown Salt Lake, I mean, you're literally right downtown, and there's just as many restaurants and bars as you can eat or drink at in the course of your stay. So I was really happy with it, honestly. And I heard rumors that they rebooked the room, but take that for what it's worth, a rumor. I don't have that confirmed. But I know they did the same thing last year in Fort Worth. Like, that show was a success. And then, I had heard that they rebooked the room for next year. And it was pretty quick that they started sending out contract forms for signing up again for exhibitors. So if we see contract forms come out again soon, presumably that's because they rebooked the room and want to get as many people signed up as possible and collect some deposits.
Awesome. Yeah.
When we were checking out of the hotel, I think it was one of the guys from It wasn't Seth, but we were talking. The guy behind the counter asked me what was going on, why we were there, and we told him, and I was like, yeah, I wouldn't mind it being back here next year. And he come up and said that they put out officially that they had already rescheduled for next year. So
nice.
Take that for what it's worth. That's not Blade Show putting it out. That's somebody saying.
Some guy, right? But still.
But yeah. Still. So and I believe
Whoops, sorry.
He's pretty big in the whole thing. So I would think he knows what he's talking about. I don't know.
One would think. Hey, Stevie, welcome, man. Yeah, downtown Salt Lake City was dope, he says. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. And I saw you guys all hanging together, all the pictures. I told JB probably 20 times I wish I was there. We had a blast in Atlanta. I'm sure it would have been fun, but yeah, too much going on.
I'm supposed to wish you a happy pre-birthday, Casey?
Yeah.
That's what Mark said.
Yeah, go for it. It's tomorrow, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be 38. And if you'll buy that, I got some ocean front property right by Ben's house.
Yeah.
I'm in. Let's do
it. But
it was my son's birthday on Saturday. He just turned 10.
Oh, nice.
Oh, very cool. That's awesome. I'm 53 tomorrow. I don't care. It is what it is.
Oh, you're old.
Gorilla says when KC wasn't looking, definitely keistered a couple of special edition pinions in M391 titanium backspacer, imported Alpine Air in the thumb hole. Yes, that's exactly right. Those there's like 5 of those, and he got one of them. So
when he said he keistered it, does that mean what I think it means?
Yeah, pretty much.
Absolutely means what you think it means.
You're watching too much Satisfaction, man. That's exactly what it means. Hey, Leland, Phil, thanks, guys. Yeah, all my kids and everybody are working tomorrow, so we're celebrating on Wednesday, but tomorrow's the actual birthday. So it is, and it's. I like this comment. I like this comment, JB. Thank goodness Casey doesn't like jimping.
Right?
All right, so what I want to talk about what's in my hand. This was one of the knives in my pocket today. This is the Ben. Tell me if I got it right. Pacific Blue Camo Carbon Vampire Jack, and these come out Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. This Friday. Oh, look at that, Bobo! Thank you very much, my friend. Guys, throw Bobo some love in the chat. There you go. There is your Daleka salute. The Daleka is not as pretty as that Vampire Jack. Don't tell Keith I said that. Oh, gosh. But, yeah, this thing is epic. I keep saying it's not a dagger. Please don't misunderstand what I'm saying, guys. But it feels like the dagger Dracula would want to hold. You know what I'm saying? It kind of has that dagger-esque look. It is definitely not a dagger. It is a full a full high hollow grind or all the way up hollow grind, however you want to say it. Really, really awesome. And the walk and talk, if you guys didn't see my short today, walk and talk is phenomenal. Just really, really good. And Ben, every time Austin does one of his videos, which I'm not gonna do, his little, no, don't do it. Gosh, every time he does that, I sit here and I'm like, dude, you're gonna cut your thumb off one day.
Dude, Austin has done that 100,000 times by now. He'll be all right.
He's probably got a really nice, whatever it is, callus. Now, Blue Creek says, get yourself a Vampire Jack. These things are amazing. And I know our friend Jeremy Freak Show got this, and his wife both got to look at this one Saturday, and Jeremy's super excited. So really, really awesome. It's just a cool knife. Now, guys, here, let's just see if I can share this without screwing up. Nope. Where'd it go? I had that preset. This is called my life, Ben. It's still
At least
there.
you're consistent.
Yeah. Gosh, JB, you didn't have to laugh like that.
I did.
All right, it's working. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. All right, here we go. It just had died. So again, the drop is this Friday, the 14th at 2 p.m. Pacific. 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. And obviously the Eastern time is the more important time. Right, JB? No, he left. He left. Dang it. I always pick on him about the only time that matters is Eastern time. But yeah, so Ben, tell us about the 5 options here.
Sure. So let's just talk about, you want to talk about the knife first a little bit?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Yep.
So, I like what you were saying. I think to clarify, maybe we could say it's Dracula's slip joint. It's his gentleman's knife. He can, if he doesn't want to bite the neck, he can just poke 2 little holes.
That's good.
So
that's good.
So
and ergonomically, it's a magnificent knife. It really is. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because that's worth talking about. So What do we have? Well, this isn't a handle shape I've invented. I definitely can't take credit for that. This is a Coffin Jack, which usually has a swell center, which means these 2 humps right here, right? Now, I've owned a custom one, which is where I was sort of introduced to the pattern by a Japanese maker named Ryu Kawamura. Different from mine in that it was not as tall. It was maybe more like 80% of this, so a little more slender. And it was a double blade. It had a primary spear point and a secondary pen blade. And Reese Bowes makes a Coffin Jack, a custom one. It's also a 2-blade. And there was a Case Bowes collaboration, also a 2-blade. So I always thought, well, man, this would just be the coolest knife in a single blade. And I always thought to myself that, man, if this thing wasn't so slender, it might look a little more menacing and just have a better aesthetic appeal. And what I realized when I initially drew the handle for this was, the beauty of this pattern is that now a lot of people want to call these points, but I got to get it in everybody's heads that they're not pointy. They're more like humps.
No, they're definitely not.
If the semantics matter. But this hump here allows the center screw that's underneath the scale to be moved out of the way, which allows for this broad spear point blade to tuck neatly in the handle and stay close. So when I drew this, I was able to put this like wicked dagger looking spear point on this thing. And I was just like, oh man, I really want this. So this was the first knife I drew. This was the first one. And
this spear point, I love spear points. And this is like a super aggressive spear point. I just love it. I absolutely love it. Go ahead.
So if anybody was, you'd have to have been paying really close attention and notice, but the photography that was on my website prior to the pictures that are there now was the prototype photography from the Riot prototypes that were made prior to Blade Show 21. Now, that knife was a little bit different from this one, my version 1. And because I had a lot of time to sort of handle that one, and because I had some time to fix it, or not fix it, but I should say improve it, I tweaked the drawing. So what I did was I sort of took some of the drama out of these humps that was previously there. That's the mirror of this is making it hard. And I also like widened out the bottom a little bit so that the bottom and the top are not symmetrical if you like, mirrored it from horizontally. Just like a little thing, but it really satisfied my critical eye as far as the aesthetics, and it also improved the ergonomics. So, if anybody's wondering, like, oh, that thing, there's no way that's going to be comfortable. I can't promise you it will, because everybody's got different hands and everybody has a different definition of comfort. But I can tell you, I've done everything I possibly can to make this as comfortable a knife as possible. And the swell center design, which is what this is, has been around for centuries. So if the design sucked, like, it'd be gone. But yet people are still making it. What are you doing out there, bud? My son's waving at me. I wonder if he's locked out.
Oh, no.
Hold on a sec. All
right,
just give me a minute.
You're good. You're good. That's funny. Let's pull him out for a second. We'll let him. Yeah. So, JB, what are your initial thoughts on the? I'm not going to tell Ben this, but I'll tell you this. You guys know I drop knives. There's a little scratch right there. You see it at the bottom of that end cap where I dropped it in the gravel in the driveway while going out to take pictures. So don't tell Ben. So what's your initial impressions of it?
Well, I felt left out because I didn't know you didn't tell me Ben was going to be here.
Well, I didn't know until very late.
I had to go get mine. No, the one thing he was talking about a lot of people have asked me about that swell center, and I know for my hand it feels great. I heard Peter say for his hand it feels great. So, and we definitely have different size hands, and yeah, he was pretty happy with it as well. So yeah.
Well, you're holding it. It's just like I described to people. People told me the sharpshooter must stink ergonomically, and I'm like, no, it's
not at all.
It's the same kind of thing. It's your 2 fingers go here and 2 fingers go there, and it feels wonderful in the hand. It really does.
Yeah. I hold it differently from you guys.
Okay, let's see how you hold it.
And maybe that's just preference, but it just demonstrates that it's flexible. I go index, middle, thumb here, and I treat it more like a 3-finger knife.
Yeah.
But it works in either grip. I mean, here's what I've learned.
I just don't like my pinky hanging off, but that's just me.
Understand. I mean, it works. And I guess what I'm trying to demonstrate is it works both ways.
Right.
So, if you have something that is neutral enough and isn't too far out there, your hand will find a way. You know what I mean?
Right.
And of course you can design something that's just straight up uncomfortable. But the guys that have come before us over the centuries have figured these things out so that it works for a large group of people. And I truly think this does too. Now, is this a knife you want to use, 10, 12 hours a day after day after day? Well, probably not. You probably need something with superior ergonomics if that's how you use a knife. You probably need a fixed blade that almost has a cylindrical handle, like a bushcraft knife. But if you're going to use this thing just throughout your day as a pocket knife, as most folks would, I promise you're not going to have any issues. I can't guarantee it, but I truly believe it.
I got that all day long work knife thing covered, Ben.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I can tell you that where you will almost certainly be satisfied with the performance is in this blade.
Oh, it's epic.
This blade is stupid thin. I mean, you guys might have seen my picture on Instagram. I grabbed it with my calipers above the cutting edge, a good, 16th of an inch, and I had 10 thousandths. So if I came down right at the top of the secondary bevel, I'd be under 10 for sure.
Jeez.
And this point will pierce anything with absolute ease.
Yep.
Now, it doesn't have a ton of belly, so it's maybe not the best for skinning something, but it's got enough.
You
And so
could.
this thing's a
You definitely could.
slicing son of a bitch. This
The
thing,
only
man.
the only thing about skinning is it would be with that acute of a tip, it would be a little difficult to keep from piercing something you don't want to. But as far
Right.
as performance in skinning, it would do a phenomenal job.
So I really think it is a really good everyday knife, a utility knife. And you know what? It doesn't look like everything else. You know, that's kind of cool about it, I think. It's unique in a field of things that make it hard to be unique sometimes.
Blazeburger wants to know how it feels in banana hands.
Banana hands, does that you have
I don't-
curved fingers?
I don't know, man. I think he's saying he's got big fingers, big thick fingers. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm 6'2", so I'm not exactly small.
Yeah.
And you know, I it's a 3.9 inches closed with a 3-inch blade. It's not a small knife by any means. By slip joint standards, it's big.
All right. I want JB and I to talk about something for a minute that's going to make Ben feel uncomfortable, but it's okay. I'm going to do it anyway. Tim says something down below, and I think I want to thank you for something, Ben. And this is absolutely the truth. You came out when I first saw these, and you had already been talking about them before then. I just missed it. But when I first saw your designs, it was at Blade Show 2021. So it was a year and a half ago. And so there's been a lot of other time for other people that have seen your designs to sort of react to them. And, I'm not going to say you're the godfather of modern slip joints or anything goofy like that, but I'm just saying I want to thank you because two things. Number one, you made me pay attention to them again, because I didn't really slip joints were something my dad had or my grandfather, and I had a couple of them, but I didn't really pay a lot of attention to them. But the second thing is you've sort of birthed this little movement in modern slip joints, and do you think that's fair, JB, to say? I think we're going through a little bit of a renaissance here in modern.
Yeah, I definitely think they're definitely making a comeback, in my opinion. And GECs and stuff like that have never gone out of, you had they sell out in 2 minutes whenever they drop. I mean, it's just the way it is. But no, I think with the modernization of the slip joint, the more modern materials, the titanium and the M390 and micarta or fat carbon or whatever you want to put on it. No, I think that's definitely, I think it's bringing more people into the slip joint world. Absolutely.
I agree. And he listened to people. People wanted more fat carbon, and what has he done? But giving them more fat carbon. And I think that's you're listening and it's working out for you. So I think that's awesome.
I am by far a slip joint expert. Never claimed to be, never will. But from what I have seen and in my experience, these by far are the best produced, best executed slip joints on the market right now. They have to be. There's no question in my mind. That is my opinion, but there is no question in my mind about that.
And then you get comments like this: they're the perfect balance between a GEC and a CRK, a Chris Reeves knife. I think that's well said. I've actually not. I have felt a Chris Reeve knife, but for like 5 minutes. So, but
that's exactly that's exactly what I was going for.
There you go.
Like, he encapsulated that perfectly. I wanted to bring the modern appeal and expert construction of a Chris Reeve to the traditional knife, but without straying from what makes the traditional knife a traditional knife, which is,
and that's important.
Yeah, to me it was. To me and for what I wanted to bring to you guys, it's I'm not doing anything particularly new.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah.
I got to give credit where credit is due, right? Like, Pena had made some customs in titanium, but there weren't very many. You know what I mean? And what I'm doing, and what I'm happy to take credit for, which is not going to be much, but what I'm happy to take credit for is making these available more widely. Like being willing to take the risk and say, you know what?
Well, we're going to talk
It's
about
not
that.
as little of a niche as you guys think it is. And there's people who would love to own a slip joint that are just not turned on by the old school stuff.
Right.
And most people were not willing to make, 1,800 of them, without knowing if it was going to work or not, like I was.
Right. So let's just say this. Let's say this. So let's say this is my main carry today, which it was. Okay. So this is the Fat Carbon Deca in Magna Cut, the SMKW exclusive from Freak Show. He brought this to me Saturday to check out. Now, if I wanted to pair this with like something in a slip joint, to me, it's going to look better next to this than it's going to look next to, a traditional with jigged bone or wood or whatever. And so I think exactly what you're saying. People are looking to have nice looking EDC loadouts. You know what I'm saying? And these do it better than anything. I mean, they really just look at that. I mean, it's just beautiful together. Picking that out last night was fun. So
yeah, and if you had, let's say you had your GEC, well, that might pair well with a more rustic looking fixed blade,
right,
or a buck lockback or something. Like you stick a GEC with a Chris Reeve or with a Deca like that, like they look like they came from two different universes.
Right.
They really do. And I'm not saying you can't do it. Of course
you definitely can, and I have, but they definitely look like they're from two different planets. It's
there was just, and Lion Steel and Viper and the Italians, like they certainly were in this market before me, doing a modern traditional that was blending the old-fashioned aesthetic with the modern materials. But it was a more of a production knife, where mine is in all essence is a mid-tech knife.
Now,
like.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just going to say, Mike Curtis, I'm not knocking the Stag and Bone. I'm just saying certain things pairing with certain things. That's all I'm saying. I agree with you. There are places that it's absolutely beautiful, and definitely not knocking it. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah. So I saw an opportunity to do a project with a higher level of fit and finish and very specific features that I wanted, price be damned. Specifically, 3mm stock, really high hollow grinds, excellent fit and finish, very snappy walk and talk, like the stuff that you get when you buy a top dollar custom,
Yep.
And it's like there's no reason that if we have mass production and remove some of the handwork with some CNC and some wire EDM, that we can't have this product. It ended up, it costs what it costs. I talked to a lot of people about price. It's like, look, the manufacturer charges me a certain amount. The dealers take a certain margin. I can't work for free. I take a reasonable margin, actually make less than the dealers on a dollar basis on every knife. And I charge you what I think is the minimum I can charge, not the maximum, And so take it or leave it ultimately. But what I've noticed is two things now that I've sold over 1,000 of these in people's hands. Obviously not vampires, but Jack Wolves in general. Right. Number one, no one's bitching about the quality, like nobody. And if you are, I might venture to say you have a somewhat unreasonable expectation, but as a whole, no one's really bitching about the quality.
Right.
Okay.
Nope. Not me.
Number two, they're barely on the secondary market. Now, I watch everywhere because, of course, I want to see what they're selling for or what are people saying about them. And, maybe I've seen 10 for sale on the secondary market since I started selling. And what that tells me is that people feel like they got good value for their money, and that the alternative would be, okay, I could sell it. Maybe if I paid $275, maybe I sell it for $225 or something, right? So if I part with this for $225, I don't like an alternative option for that money. Like I can't go sideways and get something that I want otherwise. And to me, that speaks to the value.
Yep, totally. By the way, this thing is beautiful. Thank you again, JB. And he left right when I thanked him. So two things that came up in the chat. Number one, Sorry, I'm new at knives. What is GEC? So GEC is Great Eastern Cutlery. They are a American company. Let me do this real quick. Hold on. Thank you so much, Mike. Yeah, appreciate the super chat. There is your Dalika salute. Thank you, sir. And so GEC, they hand make them right in Pennsylvania, right, Ben?
Yeah,
And-
it's a traditional American knife maker making 30,000 traditional knives a year.
Gee
using
whiz.
old-fashioned, yeah, right. I mean, it's a lot, but yet they can't make enough.
But they can't keep them on the shelf at all. Yeah.
It's a knife that looks like it would have existed in its same form or fashion 100 years ago.
Yep.
And it would have.
It would have. Exactly. Exactly.
Yep. And then we had a question if you'd ever consider doing I don't even know what this is, a Zulu spear point.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Okay, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you want the full size Zulu? To the gentleman who said it.
It was Blazeburger. Yeah. So
yeah. What do you want, the mini Zulu at like 3.5-inch closed, or the full size one at 4 inches, even 4 inches plus?
Woo!
It was a Tony Bose pattern with a slender spear point blade and like a trapper like handle. Enrique Pena makes a mini Zulu. I've heard it was Jared Ozier's drawing originally. And I even saw somewhere online, I found a bank of like slip joint patterns, and it was a Tony Bose pattern. I'm off. I'm rambling.
He says mini.
Yeah. I mean, it makes logical sense. I just have a lot of spear points in the catalog right now.
Yep.
And I'm thinking about sort of adding more of the other blade types before I draw another spear point. But that's on the short list of patterns that I should probably make because I love it.
Don't give up on the one I want before you do.
Remind me.
Oh, the low drag. Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah. No, that one's in the books, you know. I'm talking about.
I mean, these are all beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but that low drag, that's the one I'm drooling for. That's the one I'm like,
I'll tell you what, with that one, we had to. So if you remember, the Riot prototype had a soft spring. Now it wasn't too soft, but it was like arguably too soft, depending on the person.
Right.
But of course, with the new manufacturer, I had an opportunity to sort of revisit that. And with Riot, they had even telegraphed me like they're not interested in tuning anything. Like what you get is what you get. It's kind of what they had told me. Yeah, I mean, they were not really a pleasure to work with. You know, ultimately it didn't work out with them. And frankly, that's the best thing that could have ever happened to me at this point. Not to knock their quality. Of course, we know it's arguably the best in the game for locking knives. But nonetheless, I've had an opportunity to address that. And so you'll find spring tension consistent with my other models on that one now. And I'm stoked.
Yeah, that's important. That one's pretty amazing, JB.
Here's a quick question. Now, I think if I remember on the website, there's just the micarta versions, right?
Yeah, see, that's because that's old Riot prototype photography.
Okay. You answered my question then. You answered my question.
Yeah. So anytime I go to my homepage or just click the logo up top.
Yep.
You'll notice that now these are the newest one always comes first, and then going backwards from there, it's what's been released. And then if you've got the 3 units instead of 4 in the picture, that means they haven't been updated with new pictures, which means those haven't been released yet.
Gotcha.
And that's also for anybody in the audience.
Right.
Yeah, super interested in this one too. So it's definitely another one, the Javelina. Very interesting, but very, very cool.
I'm excited for that one.
Javelina looks good.
Yeah, they all do.
Come on, they all look good. Don't get me wrong.
So people keep asking me to rank the ones I have, and I have a real hard time because I like them all. I will say the Midnight's near the top, the Canine's near the top, and now the Vampire's near the top for me. And just because of the handle scales and everything, the Benny's clip is right there too. But yeah, I mean, they're all amazing, epic. But guys, what we're talking about obviously is this guy coming Friday. There's purple, fat carbon, dark matter purple. And then there is the blue, like I showed, where did I put it?
Camo carbon, Pacific
Camo
blue.
carbon. There you go. And then there is the lava flow red, which is, I believe, a fat carbon. Yeah, that thing. I mean, to me, if you were going to pick one, Ben, that said Vampire Jack, that's the one.
I can tell you guys, based on just comments on posts and this and that, feedback at the show, like if you want this red one, be ready because it's going to go first and it's going to go fast. So, but let me also say this.
What you got, JB? Hold it back up again. I didn't have you up.
I've got the black micarta.
Yeah, which is beautiful. Look at that.
One thing I want to get across to folks is that, like, you're going to be happy with any one of these. Like, any model, any color. Like, if you want to try a jackknife or a Jack Wolf, I understand, like, waiting for the one you want and going after the color you want. But the consistency between all the models is a very similar experience, between across the whole product line, which is the idea. You want your products to be consistent and recognizable. So don't agonize over which color to get. Like, you'll love them. They're all really nice. Sometimes you get surprised by getting one you sort of didn't anticipate.
Well, I'll say that for the natural micarta, I didn't think it would be one I like, and I love it because of the contrast between the dark color here and the light color back here. Really beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. I think the natural micarta on this model makes it look more like a coffin, which is kind of a cool touch. Hello.
Nelly!
So keep your face in there.
There you go. Howdy.
Hello. Oh, fangirling.
No, you can't look at Ben. Don't look at Ben.
You guys are gonna make me blush.
Right, I don't buy that for a second.
Notice you went for the guy that still has some color in his beard, JB.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Not for long.
Instead of us gray guys over here. Oh goodness.
They're starting.
Yeah, well, it happens, man.
You said that, Ben, right? So I don't know if people took it the wrong way. I hope they didn't. But in my unboxing, right? When I had it in there and I'm like, all right, which one did he send? And I said, I'm not gonna lie, it'd be pretty cool if I got a red lava flow, which it would have been. I'm not gonna lie. But I was like, all right, black micarta. Guys, whatever you get, it's a freaking phenomenal knife.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And a couple of people were like, "Oh, I'm sorry you didn't." Dude, are you kidding me? This one is just as good, and I'm perfectly happy with it. So I guess I don't know. I don't know if people took it the wrong way, but
I doubt it. I mean, you are big red EDC, so it would make sense.
Absolutely, yeah, I get that.
And he's got a red car in the background and a red Nebraska logo.
That's not mine. That's not mine.
All right.
Neighbor, so.
Well, it's a red car anyway. And guys, by the way,
I drive Casey's truck. It's blue.
There you go. Awesome. And I have a silver truck, so I don't know what that means. It was the one I was able to buy. So, so the micarta ones are going to be $270. Oh, I can't see it. $275. Is that right? $274.99. And then the fat carbon ones are going to be $299.99. So, guys, I keep telling everybody, go to the authorized dealer page and acquaint yourself and pick who you want to go with in advance. There's some new dealers here, so it might not hurt to check them out. And if you're trying to get one and maybe you've missed out before, maybe check one of the new dealers. They're going to have the same variety that everybody else, right, Ben?
Yeah, let me address that. So
go for it.
Starting in October, which is, this Vampire Jack drop, we do have some new dealers. And I'll kind of just talk through who some of those are. And the list here is alphabetical, so there's no preferential treatment or some guys got more than the other, and that's how it's listed kind of thing. Circle A Knives, they're out of West Virginia. They're a mom and pop. So if you like to support the mom and pop, that's a good one for you. They're a Great Eastern Cutlery dealer. That's how he found out about me, because I think some of his customers were asking.
Oh, wow. Okay.
His name is Jason, and that's I got it backwards. Hold on. He's New River. Sorry, I got them backwards. Jason is New River Knife Works in West Virginia. Okay. Circle A Knives, they're out of Texas. His name is Jimmy, and they're also a small Great Eastern Cutlery dealer. That's kind of how I got my wires crossed there. But either way, they're the new guys. They're the small guys. So if you're the kind of guy who likes to have a personal relationship with your dealer, maybe call ahead, maybe see if he could set something aside for you, maybe see if he can pre-sell it to you and ship it on the drop. I'm not telling you he'll do it, but I'm also telling you it's kind of the small guys who tend to do that kind of thing. So, read between the lines there, take it for what it's worth. You can't do that with the big shops. It just doesn't work that way. But again, that's ultimately up to those vendors, how they do that kind of thing. That's their own thing. My rule for them is like, you just can't ship them before the drop, guys,
Yep.
But if you have relationships with customers, take care of the guys that take care of you, Yep. We've also added Cutlery Shop. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Jeff. He's been around for decades. He's obviously a premier Spyderco dealer. They get dealer exclusives from Sal. He's known Sal Glesser since the beginning. Super nice guy, super knowledgeable guy. If you don't follow their social media, you should. They have some cool content, some cool reels and stuff.
Yep.
That's Cutlery Shop. Then Freight and Lock, I had never heard of them, but they are also a longstanding Spyderco dealer. Now they're in Syracuse, New York, and they're a brick and mortar store, and they're like a lock store where you can buy locks and safes, and they have, I presume, locksmithing services and stuff like that. So I'm actually keen to have, what's that?
I said interesting.
Yeah. And I'm keen to have my knives in some brick and mortar stores because, I mean, look, they present really well, like the presentation of the knives is really appealing with the artwork on the tubes and all that kind of stuff. Colorful handle materials.
Absolutely.
So you can get my stuff at Freight on Lock, and they also sell them online. It's not like you have to buy over the counter there. And the person who's in charge there, it's a woman named Hope, and she's like the nicest lady ever. She came by my table at Blade Show in Atlanta, and that's where I met her. That's Freight and Lock. Now, House of Blades is a brick and mortar store in Fort Worth, and it's like this giant log cabin looking Texas-sized knife store. Now, you can buy from them online too, but I think they also service a lot of walk-in customers in the DFW area. And so that's House of Blades. And then I think that's it for new U.S. dealers, if I'm not mistaken. So. And then scroll down a little bit to Europe. I don't know if we probably don't have any international listeners, but you guys, we're all part of one big community. So sometimes it's cool to see what some of these international people are up to. I added, I got to ask her how to pronounce this. Best of my ability, it says Altoner Silver Werkstatt, which means she's actually a silversmith. Her name is Maxie, and it's her family's generational business. And they're like the last silversmith in Germany. And they have master galvanizers and master silversmiths in there. And so like for people who have silver, plates and whatever you make, whatever I don't know what they make out of silver, but fancy stuff, right? So that was their family business, but obviously silver is not as popular as it used to be. People used to have a lot of that stuff. So she saw the opportunity to open up basically a knife boutique section of her store.
All right, JB, what did we miss?
No, he was just saying, I don't know what they make out of silver.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe
silver stuff.
It was just funny the way he said that.
They make like serving bowls and pitchers and plates. I don't know. I just remember my parents had china, but not silver.
Here you go. Real quick, a few new people in here. I know Mike is in Australia. Christoph, I think I said hello to you earlier. I see Javon in here. Todd Carr in Canada. Who else did I see? Turbo. Goth Venti is here. Sinister, hello. Yeah, lots of new folks. Shane Corson, silver stakes for vampires, he says.
That's right. I think that's werewolves, but
there you
close
go.
enough.
You're being asked if you would do any locking traditionals down the road.
Yes. I mean, the answer is yes. It's just one step at a time,
Yeah.
But anyway, I was kind of off on a tangent there. I have a shop in Germany. Her name is Maxie. She's super cool. Their family business was a silversmith, but now they sell knives. She's a Vero dealer. She has some other really cool brands. She came all the way to America for the Blade Show, had like 15 Germans with her. She's into it. She's super trendy. She's super cool, and her customers love her. So I'm stoked to be in her store. And then in Latin America, Professor EDC, which is Israel Dukosing, is going to be my dealer in Mexico and South America. So he's getting his first batch. And my goal in next year is to be in international wise Canada and Australia, and then pick up a few more US guys. I actually met a couple at the show in Salt Lake to follow up with. So I'm stoked.
Are you going to sell them in the tire store in Canada?
What's that?
I said, are you going to sell them in the tire store in Canada? I heard that's like where a lot of guys go to get their knives is a tire store.
I've been, anytime someone from Canada asks me,
like, wow,
hey, do you have a Canadian dealer? I ask for a reference, and I have a list of about 4 or 5 stores that come up over and over again. And I got them all written down, but like Blades Canada, Integrity Knives, I think Lion Knives or something are some of the ones I keep hearing.
I forget the store. It was in a mall where I got a proper while I was up there in Kelowna. What the heck was the name of that store? But I think it was one of the bigger Canadian, but I've had several people tell me, I think it's Canadian Tire. That's what they say. That's where they get their knives. Is it Canadian Tire? I was like, oh, okay, right on.
Yep. Demonox just said Canadian Tire. So,
yeah.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, and Blue Creek Brian's making a good point. He says we ship to Canada. Well, a lot of my existing dealers do as well. So it's like Canadian buyers, you can still get them,
right?
But I know a lot of them just prefer to buy locally, so they don't have a customs risk. Now these knives there's no reason they should be seized, or they're not even questionable as far as their legality, but customs be customs, So I understand wanting to buy after they've made it through.
I think Keith, Ben and Brian from Blue Creek can work that out. They don't need my help.
No, Brian's coming online. It's just I've got to get inventory allocated to him. So
correct.
I knew it. Known.
Kind of knew it was in the works, but I wasn't going to be the one to say anything. So
I don't like to make formal announcements until I have a very strong indication that what I say is going to happen happens. And until I know that I've made an order that has inventory that I can allocate to him, I don't say anything, publicly. But Brian and I have already had the discussion, like it's going to happen. It's just once it's in stone, I'll make a public announcement.
Hey Todd, Mimo, throw up some of the other Canadian knife stores up there. I'm trying to remember the name of the store that I bought a proper.
Sinister Duke, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you saying that, guys. These are on the way. Columbus Day has kind of been a little bit of a slow down drag, but they are on the way to you. Your tracking will update tomorrow, and you'll see these ASAP. And I just want to say I would be shocked at this moment in time if I don't go back to Kubi for my next knife. I'll entertain other ideas, but they did the ones, again, I said there were a few that are a little off, but these, just look, they drop like crazy. It's just, they're phenomenal. All 3, and the micarta came out really, really nice. I'm very pleased with how they look and how they feel in the hand. And like I said, for a $75, $85 knife, these have the action of a much, much more expensive knife. So,
and Mimo came through for me. House of Knives. Sorry.
House of
Knives. That's what it was.
Yeah. Michael Morgan, Warriors and Wonders, Integrity Knives, House of Knives. All three of
House of
those
Knives,
are
that's what
on
it
my
was.
list.
That's the one.
I just got to reach out to those guys. The devil's in the details with the international stuff. So, but I've been able to make it work in several countries now. I don't see why it wouldn't work in Canada.
Awesome. Well, hopefully you can make our Canadian friends happy. And we have a lot of those. But thanks to everybody. It has been listen, and this is absolutely true, guys. It's not everyone, but a lot of the Pinions sing when they lock up. They have a little ding when they lock up. Not all of them, but Mrs. Freak Show will tell you it's a lot of them. They definitely have a little. Yep, that one does. I don't know. Let's see if you guys can hear it. Could you hear that, JB? It's a little ting. But yeah, you'll have to wait till you get yours to see if you got a singer. But it's more than half of them, way more than half of them. So very, very cool. I'm excited, and they are better in my opinion than the prototypes were, because we worked on a lot of things of what I wanted differently in the production version. So. If I sold tires, I'd give knives away. Would you? Oh, good grief, Keith. Keith said mine better sing, or I want a refund. Why'd I have
You
to
just
say
might want to. You just might want to give Keith his refund now, so you don't have to.
Look, Mrs. Freak Show says, yes, they do. They absolutely do. They don't sound like that, though. They don't make a snap at all. But very, very cool. No, we're still going, man. We're still going. We've been talking about Jack Wolf, and Big Red keeps coming on and off while he's flipping salmon to keep from burning it.
You want me to show you what I bought at the show? I bought one
Yeah,
thing.
what'd you get? A one. Okay. This is gonna be something. Yep, something cool.
So, do you guys know Jacob Ginsburg? Do you follow him?
Jake B creates. Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like Jake B creates, right? But it's
not.
Jacob, because that's how he spells. That's how his parents spelled his name, Jakeb. So, of course, I made the same mistake, but I'm like, why are you Jake B creates if your name is Jacob Ginsburg? He's like, it's Jacob. Jacob creates.
Oh, wow.
So now we all learned something new. But I got to meet him in person. He's a super nice kid. Like his demeanor does not match his like tattooed face and like prison tattoo appearance. Like But he's like this really smart, quiet, sort of introverted guy who just has this like, I don't know, man. I mean, these kids from San Diego, what are you going to do? They got tattoos on their faces. But I just would suggest don't judge the kid, by his tattoos.
Oh,
because
not
he's like
at all, man.
He's super nice. He's humble. He's kind, and he's really talented. And these little knives are so freaking cool, And
held your vampire up with that. I'm just curious.
For scale? Yeah.
Yeah, because I've never really got a bit. Oh wow. Okay, so it is itty bitty.
But I tell you what, and I totally echo what Ben was saying. He is a really cool kid. I talked to him quite a bit at the after show there at Black Rifle. I mean, he's really, really awesome. And I'm kind of bummed I actually didn't go talk to him on Sunday and get a spot with him, because he's a really cool kid, and he's pretty knowledgeable for his age.
He is. He's really intelligent. I got to spend a weekend with him and a couple other guys, and he's a good dude. He's talented. He has a good eye. These young kids know what's cool. Like, we know what was cool, and we know what our peer groups like, but we don't know what is cool, to the young set. Only those young kids know what's up. So I like to be around those guys because they're at the cutting edge,
I agree. What's
the word I'm looking for? Like, we've been around too long. We're too conformed. We're young guys
stuck in a paradigm.
Yeah, the young guys haven't been beat down by life the way we have yet. So
I
they're
feel that.
they're fresh and creative, and I like to be around that. But guys, if you're looking for a really small, let me put it like this. People say like, "Oh, it's in your pocket. You'll forget you have it." But like doesn't ever really happen. Like you got something on you. You strap this little thing on your belt, you literally will forget that you have this thing on you. It's small and unintrusive and light. And he
So-
does them in all these cool steels. This is 4V with the
So
black
Ben, you're
Saratoga.
with all this aside about Jake B Creates, which we will put up his Instagram. You're missing the we're whatever. You're missing the chat, which happens at least once on a Knives Fast stream. It's all turned into jimping now. Forget it. You cannot say anything else about your knives from here on out because all they want to talk about is, are you going to put jimping all over your knives? Are you gonna? There was 3 or 4 questions above. Are you gonna flute them and jimp them? Are you gonna, all these different things now? So
anything's possible in the future, but I don't have any
no,
current plans.
do not put any jimping on a slip joint.
I don't have any plans to jimp my slip joints. Now, Pena's has a little bit of jimping on them. If you guys want a jimp slip joint, buy one of Enrique's. It's like I kind of like that. My stuff's a little different than his because it's always similar anyhow.
This all started because one night I talked about having a thumb ramp and not needing jimping because you had a thumb ramp. And boy, it just started this crazy downhill spiral into jimping. So, oh man. But there's Jacob Creates Instagram. Check him out, guys. Very cool. Does he make anything larger?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
It's just this is probably his most popular model. It's called the Chickadee. Now
It'd be easy to carry.
Oh yeah. Now the way he carries his is he just removes the belt loop and just carries it in his pocket, is what he told me. But I kind of like this horizontal carry on the belt. This is called the Chickadee, but he has other, depending on the color combination, they have different names. This one's called the American Cream Pie, which is a little tongue in cheek.
Didn't he have one called the Peanut Butter and Jelly?
Probably. And the one at Blade Show with the blue handles was called like something salt or like but I don't know, his stuff's creative, it's cool, I dig it. Some are machine ground, some are hand ground. This one's 4V. The blue ones at Blade Show were Magna Cut. He's got different models.
The slippy jimp.
Slippy jimp.
Yeah, that's great.
Jimpy slip.
There you go. It's gone now. We're done. It's over. JB, is everything burning?
No, it's going good.
Not burning. So
No.
I want to show a couple knives to you guys that this is one of the things I don't do well because I have a bad habit of showing knives here that I haven't unboxed yet. So there's an unboxing tomorrow morning. This is pretty crazy. This is the AM8, in other words, Miguron Kovog. This thing, JB, check that. Oh, it's not. JB doesn't like the blade shape. I can tell. It's not speaking.
No, actually,
Excuse me.
No, actually, all that belly would probably make a really good rope knife.
It absolutely would. Only negative so far is lock bar access isn't my favorite, but it's not bad. And of course, I'm the worst person to demonstrate a front flipper, but these came from White Mountain Knives. Super cool. I got some stuff coming for Blue Creek as well. And then the last one I wanted to show was the this crazy thing. And the name on this, I got to ask somebody with concept what in the world. It's called the Ness Street. And I think it's, JB, have you seen the Main Street? I think this is a Ness muck mixed with the Main Street. I think that's what they were going for here.
By the name, that would make sense. But I'm just trying to think. That looks awfully familiar.
It's got a really interesting blade shape.
Maybe not.
Ben's like, get that thing off of here. Let's talk slip joints.
No, that's cool. I was looking at that blade shape. I'm thinking to myself, is it a spear point? Is it a drop point? Is it a sheep's foot? Like, what the heck is that?
I would probably call it
a blade shape.
You call it what, JB?
I would call it a sheep's foot, I think.
I actually, in my unboxing, was very confused. I said it could even be, because you've seen people call stuff Warncliffs that has a little bit of belly. To me, it's not. It's a sheep's
Well,
foot.
Warncliffe doesn't have a belly.
But
No,
the clip portion of it is arced, where the sheep foot it's usually straight.
Right.
And a sheep's foot has a straight edge, and that doesn't. So it's like, to me, it's more of a spear point.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but it's not. So I don't know
Or-
what the heck you call that thing.
Or a Nessmuck cleaver, basically, is what you know. It's got the belly of a Nessmuck, and it's sort of a clipped cleaver, is what I see. But I think I said that in the unboxing. But really, two really interesting blade shapes. I kind of have had a lot of normal blade shapes lately, so I wanted to get some in here that were different. I don't even know what do you call this one, Ben? If we're on that, I have no
To me,
idea.
that's more sheep's footy. That one, it's just got arches where there would be straight edges. But you know, I'd put that in the sheep's foot category. But that other one just really strays from anything traditionally recognizable.
Oh, I agree. I agree. Yeah, definitely so. It's but they're both. I'm looking forward to checking them out. Very much so. Probably have that one in the pocket tomorrow for Titanium Tuesday, but we'll see.
I think that's pretty cool, man. You know,
excellent.
I would say that one appealed to me a little more than the other one you showed just at first glance.
Yep.
How big is that?
Well, okay, let's do vampire again. Where'd I put it? What did I do with my vampire?
4.5-inch handle, maybe.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd say it's close to. Let's see. The Pinion is 8, 4.5, and 3.5. So yep, pretty much, pretty close there. A little shorter in the handle.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, different. That's kind of why I picked him out and asked him to send him my way, because I was in the mood for something different. So that's what we got. And then the last one I want to show two things. Number one, I showed this awesome Deca SMKW MagnaCut Deca that Freak Show brought me. Well, he also brought me this ZT0640. Is that right, Jeremy? Please tell me if I'm wrong. Jeremy says it's a clip cleaver point. That's good. This thing he has anodized and done all crazy stuff too. So this one is really cool. Look at that, JB. It's got a Zerk thumb disc.
Dang.
Yeah, this thing is crazy, man. So that one will be on the channel. And then the last thing I wanted to show almost made me cry. I don't cry. And I think Mr. Freak Show was trying. Were you trying to make me cry, Chrissy? Because if you were, you came pretty close. So she came with a card, JB. I won't show the card because it's upstairs. That talked about, you know, kind of World War II and how things didn't go so well, and then, you know, they stuck with it and went, and she talked about the Mach 51, and then she talked about obviously the Pinion, and she painted this. Are you kidding me? So that is a P-51 Mustang, and I am the pilot, which is super scary. But that is going to be framed up and stuck in the background back here, because that is way too cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, she
very
just
thoughtful.
Killed it. Yeah. Mrs. Freak Show. There you go. So I was blown away. And when I get emotional, I usually just shut down and walk away and go do something else. So so that's what we do. So, but yeah, really, really cool. I'm really is that, yes, I think so. Jeremy is the 0640 reground. I think he said it was a BGM regrind. I believe that is correct. It kind of has to be with that kind of a grind. That is, I think it's BGM if I remember correctly. Beautiful knife. It really isn't. It's the first Emerson I think I've really had on the channel, so it'll be interesting to check that one out. So, yep.
I think it's about time for me to pull some meats off the grills, guys.
Woo!
So,
yeah, you have fun, and I really appreciate you being here. We're going to talk a little bit more with Ben, and then we're going to move to a giveaway now, guys. Don't tell anybody that's not in here right now. I'm kidding. But the giveaway tonight, you're going to want to be here for. Okay. I'm pretty excited about the giveaway tonight. So it's kind of a celebration of my birthday and everything that happened this weekend, all the fun and excitement. So we're going to have some fun here. So,
Well, I tell you what, as a birthday present, Will B, Tim B, Iggy, Sharp Guy, and Todd Carr are all now members of your channel. So you're going to have to
did
send
you
them.
do that? I didn't even see that. Very, very cool. So all of you guys JB just mentioned, I didn't see that at all, JB. It didn't come up on my thing. So thank you for doing it.
Cooking Cardinals, Brian. That's sacrilege. What are you talking about?
What did he do to Cardinals?
He asked me if I was cooking Cardinals.
Oh, you know what? I don't have it on live chat. I had it on top chat. That's why. But for all of you that JB just mentioned, if you are a new channel member, send me an email, knivesfast@gmail.com, and I will send you some swag. Are you cooking Cardinals? All right. Have a good one, JB.
You guys have a great week, everybody, and I will see you guys later.
I'm glad you got to come on, brother. All right. We'll talk to you later.
All righty.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Man, it got quiet in here all of a sudden. I don't know what that noise was, but
background noise at his
yeah,
place,
I
I guess.
Yeah, he said he's near a freeway, so that's probably what it was. But guys, I want to mention as well, if there's anybody new in here, Ben, I got to tell you, man, I don't even know how or why this is happening, but I've picked up close to 1,000, a little over 1,000 subscribers in the past 90 days, and about 500 subscribers in the last 30. So
congratulations.
I want to thank all of you guys. If you're new, I appreciate it. Stick around. If you're old, you guys are the foundation this channel is built on. Thank you very much for each and every one of you being here. I was trying to get to 5,000 by Christmas. We are at 4,909. So we may be at 5,000 by the end of the week. So pretty crazy. Look at that. Look who dropped in.
Lefty in the house.
Yeah. So I do want to say something while Lefty's here. So you're looking at, and I should have said it while JB was here, but you're looking at a guy right over here that has given me all kinds of advice. Yeah, right there. Ben, giving me all kinds of advice trying to get the Pinion on the table. Guys, if you don't know, Ben had a long road to get to where he is, and put a ton of money out there. And really, I mean, how about Ben? I think it's easy to say you went all in, man. And so I took a lot of advice from this guy. He came out on top. I don't know if I'd say I'm on top, but I'm definitely excited to have a design coming out to you guys. And then there's this nut. Kevin, you mean the world to me, man. You and I are a lot different in some ways, but you've been phenomenal support system for me, and a great person to bounce stuff off of. And I disagree with you about half the time, but I think that's what makes it a good relationship. Is that great or what? But there's your Daleka salute, Kevin. Thank you so much, man. And JB is the other one. This guy listens to all my whining and everything else, and tries to help me make good decisions. And that's kind of my support system, you guys. So I really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, there's a lot more than just money to getting a project going. It's hard work, determination, and being willing to sort of take the licks as they come and, not give up. And so we were all very proud of you for brushing the dust off and getting back in there and not taking no for an answer, not quitting, not giving up. So that was big. That was all you.
There was about
for you, but
well, I'm gonna say, and it was you and Kevin, okay, and JB early on when this first didn't make it. I gotta admit, I laid down for a couple days. I just did. It was. I can't believe this. Why is it? Why didn't it work? And you told me. I remember, Ben. You clearly told me. Oh, there you go, Ben. I mean, Ben. Brian, very cool, man. Brian sending me a knife for the 5K giveaway, and he just figured out what it is. So that's cool. So what I was saying is, I remember you saying, dude, don't make any decisions right now. Don't make any decisions right now. Give it a few days and see what you think. And I think it was 2 weeks later, I got out a pencil and my grid paper that I use, and I started drawing. And I drew something, and I didn't like it, but I said, wait a minute, this looks good, but this doesn't. And I kept going. And probably 4 days later, I drew the Pinion, finished drawing it, and the rest is history. So very, very cool. So thank you guys for smacking me in the head. And it takes friends to intervene, if you will. So yeah, I mean, it was tough, man. It was tough. I thought I felt like I had something really good, and it needed some work, of course, and I'll gladly say that.
Sometimes it's just not the right time for something too, man.
Nope.
Like, let's say you start getting Pinions out there, more people become familiar with your style. You have a couple other knives that come out. Nothing that says you can't have a Mach 51 version 2 come out down the road after you've established a customer base, put some tweaks in it. The most important thing was, you had your guys cheering for you in the corner, but like, you got up and you got back in the game. Yeah. We couldn't have done that for you. You did it. So you need to pat yourself on the back, which I know you don't like to do.
No, I don't. I literally, one of the things, how about this? I'll just put it this way. I've had a lot of successes in my life, and I've also had a lot of failures. And I will say, the lady upstairs in the living room right here, my wife, has been the most huge support to me. And so she said to me the same thing you said. She said, take it easy. Don't get upset. You got more in you. Don't give up. And I said, okay. So, I like to deflect and give other people the credit, because I couldn't do it without the support I got. And that's just the way it is. So, and it was so much fun. I got to tell you, Ben, Saturday, my wife was the one, we would QC the knives and put them on a table in front of her, and she's the one pairing the knives with the labels and helping Trevor box them and everything. By the way, if your tape is a little crooked or your label has a little wrinkle in it, that's Trevor love. Okay, that's all it is. It's
what did you tape?
Okay, so I had your advice, I had Kevin's advice, and then Jeremy, who does shipping on a daily basis, Freak Show, I had his advice. I ended up, because I had bought 8 rolls of tape before you told me all you're doing is putting the label over them. We taped them all the way around and then put the label on. So I just taped the snot out of them. So I had the tape. I said, let's just do it. So they're
certainly secure, aren't they?
They are definitely secure. So yeah, it was fun. We had a Saturday was a lot of fun. It really was, especially at the end. It was very fun at the end. The QC and 600 knives. How many are you doing each time, Ben? Can you tell me? Are you allowed to say that?
All my initial batches were 300, and honestly, it's not my favorite part of the job. I got to tell you,
I don't
do good with monotonous stuff. That's just not me. I like, I could be in spreadsheets for a week straight, and people be like, "How can you do that stuff?" It just works for me. But like QCing knives after like 150, I'm like, "Oh my god,"
Yeah.
But usually I do it by myself, and that's probably why it sucks so bad.
And Kevin is a control freak, so he did them all by himself. I think he even double-checked behind Colin, which is hilarious. There's no way I could have got through all of them and done them all myself. It would have taken me 3 or 4 days to get through all of them. Whoa, Blue Creek, Brian, thank you, man. So I got a piece of video I want to show you guys. If I don't have it where I can show it on the screen, but I just want to show you guys something. Now, you guys know Freak Show Jeremy is a sharpener. So, of course, he immediately sharpened his pinion the way he wanted it. But he took it to work today, and he put this up. It's on Instagram, but I'm too stupid to get my Instagram working on this computer. But watch this. So this is that thick corner cardboard. You know what I'm talking about, Ben? The corner stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it just laser beams through that thing.
Oh, I watched this already as soon as it went up, and I was like, "Damn!"
And if you saw Scab from Choir Boys, he had he put a new edge on his too, but it's a cutter. Now you mentioned 3mm stock, so this is 3.2 on the Pinion, but yours is a hollow grind. Obviously, I left this flat because I just that's what I wanted. I wanted it to be a little more hefty in the hand for for heavy work like that. Not that yours couldn't do that. I'm sure it could, but that just was my choice, what I left. And it came out good. And I think the 14C is of course M390 is way better steel, but in the price range, I think the 14C is a phenomenal steel. I really do.
Well, man, you can make them both sharp, can't you? You might have to sharpen 14C a little more often than the M390, but dude, a properly maintained knife is going to perform for you either way.
Absolutely. And so I'm excited, guys. Thank you. I don't want to make this all about me, but we did talk about Ben's knife for quite some time, so I guess it's okay to talk about it. But
absolutely.
But these will be headed your way, guys. Here's what I want you to do. Okay. Somebody asked me this question on Friday, and I want to make this clear. If you customize your opinion in any way, please post a picture. Send me a picture. I want to see what you do with them. I love it. Okay. If you want, now I love a wire clip, but if you want a Lynch clip, go get you a Lynch clip and let me see what it looks like. If you want to anodize your hardware, if you want to dye this blue scale dark or something, if you want to acid wash your blade, whatever you want to do it and let me see it, man. I'm very excited for that. I want to see these in people's pictures. Very, very much so.
Mine will be in pictures, my friend. I got my shipping notification today.
There you go. Awesome. But just, and there will be, I've had a lot of people ask, there will be more left. There's going to be fewer of these available just because so many sold up front. There's going to be plenty of black G10, plenty of blue G10, and some of these. I don't know how many yet because some of these are the ones that got held back. So we'll see how many I end up with. But there will be some of these, but they will probably, because this was the most popular model, they'll probably go pretty quick. The black micarta. Is that? No, you got a blue one, right, Ben?
I got a blue one. Yeah, I got a lot of micarta in my life right now. And that blue one just really, I don't know, man, the way it kind of it complements the color of the blade and everything. It just really spoke to me. So
yeah, I like it. And the black G10 came out really well as well, in my opinion. Their G10 is really nice. And so
the one with the black G10 would make a cool modding project to like murder out that thing, do like a black Cerakote or a black DLC on all the hardware and the blade or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Slick. Yep.
Yeah, Jeremy and I have some ideas about modding some of these and maybe, for giveaways or selling or whatever. So we'll see what we actually come up with. And
it's fun, dude. Guys are into it. I've done a couple with knife modders and it made for good promotional content. It made for a couple, super happy customers to get something unique. Like, I can't think of any reason not to do it. Just grab a chunk of them, set them aside, and let someone who's good at that have their way.
Yeah, I understood. Like this one, I'm going to put jimping on mine with a chainsaw.
Make sure you set up a camera to film that, Mike.
Guys, if you put jimping on them, I want to see what it looks like. And if you hate it after the fact of you murdering it with jimping, that's not my fault, okay? It doesn't need jimping. But anyway, If you want jipping on your knife, then jip to your heart's content. I would love to see it. Yes, Iggy says I ordered skiff bearings for mine and purple RIT die. Very cool. The skiff bearings are the 5mm 1/16 that will fit these. So very, very cool.
Hey, Casey, can I plug my Facebook group?
Yeah, please. That is cool. I didn't even know it existed until the other day when it popped up, but it's a lot of content in there. I love it. Go.
Yeah, so I use Facebook a lot. I don't know. I'm drawn to it. I like Instagram too, and I've always been been thinking about setting up a group, but I wanted to wait probably about a year just to get some knives out there. But I observed, or actually, someone pointed out to me that there was a Facebook group, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, really?" So I looked, and it had like 8 people in it, and I was so like humbled that guys would start a Facebook group to talk about my stuff, And so I was like, all right, I need to have an official group. This is the time, obviously. And so I, told those guys that I appreciated what they did. And I said, would you please mind coming over to the official group so we don't have 2 parallel groups for a new company? If it makes sense to have 2 groups for me someday, boy, I would be ecstatic. So anyway, I formed Jack Wolf Knives Worldwide. That's what it's called. If you guys are on Facebook.
Trying to get there now. I'll have it up on the screen in just a second.
You can join the group without sending me a friend request. But if you want to send me a friend request as well, of course, I'd accept it. And yeah, it's just a kind of a place where we can post pictures of our knives. I've got some off-topic conversation. I also have strict rules in there, guys. Like, there's not going to be any politics. There's not going to be any bullying. There's not going to be any it's family friendly. I got my mom in there. My uncle is in there. So don't say anything in my group you wouldn't say it in front of my mom. And that's how I want it to be. There's so much other crap on Facebook for inflammatory content. I just don't want to have anything to do with it. Yep. So it's a place you can feel, safe to post pictures of your stuff without someone being a telephone tough guy and all that. And we're going to do some cool stuff. Like, I've got a lot of prototypes and they're just sitting in rolls and they're not doing me any good here. And so I'm going to do giveaways and start giving away prototypes. I've got to figure out, I got to mark them so that they can be distinguished from the regular models. That's Cole and his long lost brother. How funny is that, dude? Like 8 people went up to that guy at Blade Show talking to him thinking he was Cole. But anyway, long story short, we got a cool Facebook group. We're going to be doing some giveaways, giving away some prototypes. Not sure how those giveaways are going to be structured, but I'm also setting aside a marketing budget. We'll do like maybe T-shirts and stickers and maybe some special pogs. I really want it to be a cool place.
Really good photography. This guy's awesome.
JC, your photography has really improved, dude. I'm not joking, man. Like, compared to last year and the year before, like, you've really gotten better with your camera.
Yeah, I've been working on it.
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead.
Anybody wants to join, I do appreciate it. And don't just join, post stuff, be a part of the community, because certainly I'm going to want to favor people who are active in the group. And I want to point out here that Sean Tiffany, the artist, I kind of talked him into making a post. He's kind of shy and doesn't like to draw attention to himself like a lot of creative people are. But he's been an instrumental part of the design of the packaging. And so he showed you some of the sort of background of how we go about this with thumbnail sketches for the Vampire. And guys, I can't recommend any more highly Sean for any artist stuff you guys might need. He works quickly and he listens to instruction and he's easy to communicate with and he's awesome. So
yeah, and
the group is called Jack Wolf Knives Worldwide.
Let's go back up here so you can see that. Oh, stop dinging in my ear.
There it is.
Jack Wolf Knives Worldwide. There you go. And guys, if you haven't had a chance to see Sean's artwork, definitely check these out. I keep wanting to put a shelf up here, like back here, to like put them all on because I think that'd look real cool, but I just haven't got that far. I want to rework my background entirely. So I just
Ian, it's so my rules say, like, if you post other knives, you just got to have a Jack Wolf in the picture. I don't mind if there's other knives in the group, but I don't want it to turn into like a micro tech page or a Chris Reeve page, but we have off topic conversation too. So, I appreciate that, Brian. I've got Cole helping me now, but if it gets to the point where I need to add a second, you're first in line for admin number 2. I know you're busy over there. I don't want to burden you more than you need to be.
You got lots of just joins popping up down there, so that's really
I appreciate
cool.
that, guys. It's I really want it to be like the way Facebook used to be, or like how some of the groups you're in used to be before they got either like people stopped putting up content or just someone mentioned something political and then everybody dives in on it and like ruins the fun for everybody. I hate that. So,
hey, Darnell.
Cole, Ian, Cole is Cole with a C. It's short for Coleman.
Okay. Very cool. So, guys, we're gonna because for some reason my throat has decided to bother me here, probably from talking too much on Saturday. But so
COVID.
we're gonna get there's no COVID. Been there, done that twice already.
COVID.
I think thanks. Now I'm gonna get flagged, Ben. Thanks. No, I'm just kidding. So let's go back. No, you're good. I'm just messing. So guys, don't forget this Friday. I'll be honest and tell you the absolute truth. I have not recorded my review of this one yet, but it'll be up before Friday, and probably Thursday or Friday, I think. But you guys can go check out my unboxing. I talk a lot about it on there. If you're looking for a slip joint that in this case aesthetically is amazing, and in all the cases of Ben's knives, and just the titanium frame, the covers are done so well, the transitions are good, the blade is stupid thin, and of course it's a spear point, which all of these, no, I'm not kidding. I like all the blade shapes, but I really love a spear point. But just cool. This Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern at all those dealers we showed. Please definitely check it out, guys. Very, very much so. I don't have COVID. Be quiet. Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Ben. So, and of course, Tim B, as always, nailing it in the chat. Thank you for being here, Tim, and helping with all this. There is your information on Jack Wolf and the drops. Very, very cool. Ben, I got one more question. So you added dealers. So are we saying there are more available this time? Okay.
That's exactly what we're saying. Yep.
Okay.
I did not spread out what was already there thinner. I added knives
Which
to
explains
give to more dealers.
Which explains your comment about Blue Creek earlier. That makes a lot of sense. So
yeah. I it's a balancing act, guys. Like, I don't want everything to be impossible to get all the time. That's not the point. But I also have to be careful not to make too many. And it's also, there's financial limitations. So
right, 100%.
Yes. How do we say your name? Demonoc 13.
Demonoc.
Yes, they will be reproduced. It will start sometime next year, but there's still more of the initial catalog to roll through. I started thinking if I get big enough, it could get to a point where I can release two models at once, but I'm not there yet.
Brian did this on purpose, Ben. He's a big Christopher Walken impersonator. The walk and talk on the Jack Wolf knives is absolutely phenomenal. I'll just pull. Which one am I going to pull out here? They're all sound like just.
Next time I talk to you, Brian, I need you to do the whole Pulp Fiction wristwatch dialogue for me.
He's a hoot. I gotta have Brian back on the stream because people loved him so much. He and Austin from TPK were like home runs, man. Great guests. We had a great time. And you're always solid. Kevin always scares away all the families that are normally on here. They all run away when Kevin's on here. Did I say that? But yeah, walk and talk is phenomenal. What you got? You got your chickadee.
Yeah, I'm kind of enamored with this little thing.
I guess. Yeah, it's a cool knife, no doubt. I just wish it was a little bit bigger. That's all. But I'm weird.
He does have bigger models, so Chickadee
Yep.
might not be the one for you, but keep an eye on him.
All right. Well,
Maybe I-
Ben, you're welcome to stick around for the giveaway, man. And I always give people the option if they got a jet or whatever. But I think we're gonna transition towards the giveaway here. So
Let's do it.
all right. So guys, first things first, Gorilla, our friend, sent these again. Ben, did you know this was a thing? Boker socks. These are Boker socks with knives on them.
It's got a boot knife in it.
Yeah, it does. So cool. On the other side, you've got what are those little? Oh, it's just like a belt. Yeah, that's interesting. Like holding up the boot knife. There you go. Very cool. Ooh, yeah. So then we have guys. We're coming up on Halloween, and our friends at SMKW gave me a bunch of a very popular sticker. So these are going to be in my giveaways for the next several weeks through Halloween. This is the Jason Bigfoot SMKW ginormous sticker. The sticker's as big as my head. No, not quite. But there you go. So you get one of those. You get all of the normal Knives Fast stuff. You get the Trevor Butter Knives Fast number 75, signed by the man Trev, who's at work right now. You get Killer Bunny number 16. Very cool. Killer Bunny number 16. You get a Tim S 3D printed nightstand. Very cool. Thank you, Tim. And you get an Alice paracord blue and white keychain. I don't know. Is this a monkey fist? Is that what this one is, guys? I can't remember. I think it is. But it's for knocking somebody in the head, Ben.
Cool.
And then all kinds of swag. Of course, you get a Peanuts, a Charlie Brown Band-Aid, and you get a huge pile of stickers, guys. I'm not going to go through all of them. You got River's Edge Cutlery, you got QSP, you got SMKW, Big Red EDC, Beard of Doom, which is always a cool sticker, Bees Blades, Tri-State, White Mountain Knives. Of course, there's got to be a Blue Creek Knives skeleton astronaut in there. There's a Lefty Live. Ooh, wait a minute. What? Oh, Josh Brown. Okay. Thought that said something else for a moment there. Josh Brown for shipping since I was late. Thanks. Oh, Josh Branson. Okay. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. There is your Daleka salute, my friend. There's no penalty for being late, man. But yeah, there you go. That is all the swag. And then we are going to show what knife we are giving away. Now, the following knife was donated for a channel giveaway by Kyle Mason. I have not seen Kyle in here tonight. I emailed him for a couple of days telling him I was going to do this tonight. But he has not replied, so I'm sad because I wanted him to be in here. But he donated this knife that we're giving away tonight to the channel for a giveaway. And guys, I am excited to give this away tonight. It means a lot. So it's one of these. So yes, sir. This is what your box is going to look like. This is the Tempest Knives Pinion Blue G10 14C28. And it's going to come, by the way, with a sticker and a card inside, little warranty information there, and nice little Ziploc bag. By the way, Ben, these are holding up just fine. Might go thicker next time, but they're holding up fine.
It's all in the details, my friend.
Yeah, I understand. I did pretty good. It is the Blue G10 Tempest Pinion. Look at that stonewash right off the bat. Kyle Mason bought two, kept one for himself, and sent one for you guys to give away. So please make sure, if you know it is not a Ferrum Ford Stinger. Smart Alec Troy. But there you go. That is the giveaway, and appreciate it. So And Ben's obviously, since he keeps showing that, that's going in the giveaway, right, Ben? I'm kidding. I'm
One
kidding.
for everyone.
Oh no, that's cool. That is.
So these were, I had them on the table at the show. And
Yep.
got operated a lot, and boy, did they break in good, man.
I'm just cool. That's awesome.
Mesmerized over here by this. Can't help it.
So hopefully you guys are excited, and that's what we're giving away tonight. So let's do it. Is there a mod in the house that could stick the? I haven't seen Grumpy. Keith, you're here. Somebody put the rules up, please. There are 81 in here, so we're gonna do.
You doing the numbers game?
Yep. I don't even know how to get. Kevin showed me last week, but I don't remember how to get to the stupid thing. So I don't know how to get to it. So I was trying to think of it a few minutes ago, but I don't know how to get to where it is. He showed me last week, but I do not remember. So I'll have to do that another week. So for tonight, it's numbers. And look under your chair, everyone. If you find a Jack Wolf knife there, you win that Jack Wolf knife you found. If you don't find anything, blame Satisfaction. I like that.
If you find chewing gum, you also win.
Yeah, you win the chewing gum. It's all yours.
Yep.
All right. So let's see. Did anybody put the rules up yet? There we go. There they come. Rules, one guess. One guess only. Closest without going over must be 18. And obviously U.S. mailing addresses. There we go. Tim, put them up there. And I'm going to give a range, and you get to guess within the range. And one guess per person, one guess only. And then closest without going over will be our winner. And I folded
Josh
up.
just gave you $5, I think.
Oh, my goodness. And Josh, thank you, man. Where is it? Oh, man. Thanks,
Josh. You make amazing blades. Hey, I appreciate it, Josh. And, dude, I'm just enamored with the JB, engraving style logo you have. That's freaking cool.
That is pretty sweet. All right, let's pick a number here.
Butch found a roach under his chair. A cockroach, or what was left over? Or the kind you need, needle nose wire clips to hold, whatever they're called. That's from my captive audience.
Very nice.
Riveted.
All right, so Keith, please put a start on the screen and let's get this giveaway going, man. And then somebody's going to end up either with their first pinion or maybe a second or third or fourth. So we'll see who wins here. Kaiser Roach, I hope. Uh-oh, somebody's coming in, Ben. Watch out.
Yeah, that's probably my wife. I text her.
The range is 250 to 430. 250 to 430. One guess and one guess only within that range. Keith, I will text you right now. And other mods, when you're ready, Jeremy and Tim B, when you guys are ready, please let me know. Uh-oh, Keith, you haven't texted me. I got to find you. Keith, you never responded to my last video I sent you. It was very important. Oh, terrible. Terrible. The guesses are rolling in, guys. Wait, what did I just send Keith? Hold on. Keith, I'm very tired. Let me make sure I did give you the right thing.
Extremely well polished around here.
No, not at all. It's chaos from start to finish, man. That's what I do best. And Ben, I wanted to say one more thing before I forget. It's humbling to me that you allow me to be one of the ones to get these knives ahead of time and share them with everybody. People love seeing them. They definitely do. So I really appreciate you doing that and let me check these out for sure.
It's my pleasure, man. It's important to me that knife guys share them with everybody. You're a knife guy, dude. You're
Yeah.
a genuine knife guy. These are knives for knife people. It's, it's not about subscriber counts and views. It's about I want knife people to be exposed to these things. So I think you're a knife guy, Casey,
Yeah,
and a
I am.
nice guy.
Oh, thanks. Well, and what you did with sending me your GECs, your top of your line GECs was awesome. Because, I mean, I knew some stuff about slip joints, but not really well. So that was very helpful. It was awesome.
Happy to do it, bro.
All right. I'm reading through here. And, of course, my mods are – oh, no, that's my sister. My sister's talking some more. She's still smiling. My sister had been fighting some cancer, Ben, and she got a really good report at the doctor today. Everything's clean and clear. So she's been on cloud nine all day, as you can imagine. So very cool. Man, there's some good guesses, guys. All right, so let's give it about another 20 seconds or so. Keith, if you want to put the stop up in about 20 seconds. So if you have not guessed, 250 to 430, get your guess in now. No pressure, but get it in now. Oh, now you're really going to get me flagged.
Oh, I don't even think about that stuff. You could tell I'm not a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Sorry. Hopefully
No,
I'm off key enough that
you're
it doesn't
fine.
trigger anything.
Who cares? It's fine.
It's Casey, I record those little videos that I send out for the YouTubers kind of talking about the knives. One time I was playing the radio in my office in the background, dude, and they just completely tanked the video and I had to refilm the whole thing.
Yeah, people don't realize it's not just about monetization. They can just put what's called a copyright strike on you. It's not just about monetization. They can just kill the video.
Yeah, that's what they did. They absolutely annihilated it.
Yep. All right. So did we get a stop yet, Keith? Let's get a stop here.
I'm not really seeing any more guesses come in, so. Oh, there's one.
Uh-oh. Good. He got it in right under the wire. So
Sure did.
That is our stop. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready. Let me check one more time. Yep, everybody's saying the same person. Looks like we got one winner and not a bunch of ties here. Tim, do you? Yep, you have it as well. All right. So our range was 250 to 430, and our number was 400 even, guys. So 400, and it looks like our winner is Matthew Gillifer. What's somebody tell me how to say his name?
Matthew G.
Gulliver. Is it Gulliver or Matthew Gulliver. That's what everybody's got written here. I got to go find him again here. Matthew, are you still in here? If you are, let me know. And what you have won a Pinion, Tempest Pinion, and you have won all the socks and swag and goofy stuff too. So very, very cool. So Gulliver. That's what I thought it was. Everybody wrote Gulliver, but I thought it was Gullifor or something. So Matthew, if you don't mind, send me, if you do mind, whichever way, you need to send me an email, knivesfast@gmail.com to claim your prize. You need to send me that tonight if you can, please. knivesfast@gmail.com. Is he still here? Yeah, he is. Cool beans, he says. I can't remember, Matt, if you ordered a Pinion or not, but if you did, now you get another one, and if you didn't, you get your first one. So I looked through the whole list of 300 and something names over and over again, and I still can't remember them all. So
it's a tall order, Casey.
Yeah, you know some of my issues too. I had to totally manually input the last 30 addresses yesterday, and I literally thought I was going to lose my mind just because the bank was giving me such a hard time. So had to do what I had to do. But it worked out very much so. So congrats, Matt. Again, knivesfast@gmail.com. Appreciate each and every one of you being here, guys. Obviously, be back every Monday. Next Monday night, we have our friend, another one of Ben's buddies, Mr. Bob, the Knife Junkie. Will be here next Monday night, and we always have a good time because Bob has Ben. I don't know if you noticed, he's got some slightly different tastes than some of us do. He's got some of the more tactical end stuff, like the Pical, kind of a pick knife. Some of the kind of stuff he really digs is something I probably would never own, but to each their own. I will say I have something really cool. I'm not gonna blow it, but I have something really cool on the way here that's kind of out of my comfort zone. But I am so excited that this company is sending me this thing because I am gonna have a blast. I've got a pumpkin set aside with this thing's name on it. So
Yay.
So it's gonna be a blast. So yeah, Bob does have some cool taste, no doubt about it. But thank you, Gorilla. Thank you, everybody who has told me happy birthday tonight. Tomorrow should be fun. And Wednesday night with my kids, once they're all actually not working, we're gonna have a really nice meal and everything together. So all right, so
bedtime.
Exactly. I am so wiped, man. I literally I haven't been able to sleep the last few nights, so I'm kind of crashing and burning. So Ben, thanks for coming on, man. It's always awesome having you out there in Phoenix, and hope you have a good evening, my friend. And guys, don't forget, and I'll remind you, Friday on my live stream, which is 1:00 Eastern, as long as work doesn't kick my butt again. But at 2:00 Eastern, the Jack Wolf Vampire Jacks. What did I do with it? The Vampire Jacks will be dropping at all the normal dealers, all kinds of 5 different handle materials. There's a micarta, and here is a awesome. I keep wanting to say just fat carbon, but it's camo carbon. Really cool. Listen to that, man. Your audio in there is so cool, man. The snap on those sounds so awesome. Snap. So yeah, I definitely need bedtime. Shower in bed. That's exactly what I'm about to do. Woo. Yeah, it sounds good in there, man. Really.
It's just my AirPods, I think.
Is that what it is? Yeah, my mic is right here, but I can't ever hear myself, so I don't know what it sounds like.
Well, appreciate all you guys in the audience. Thank you for hanging out with us. There's over 70 of you, and I think that's just the coolest thing, man. I mean, it'd be impossible for us to all hang out in the same bar or restaurant. So this is something that I think we're blessed to be able to do. Let's all wish Casey sweet dreams over there with his yawning.
So pathetic. But guys, again, people, I just looked and I've got some more messages. I got tracking, but I don't see the knife moving. It was Columbus Day today. I just want to say it one more time. Thank you, Keith, man. Appreciate it, brother. There is the Daleka man gets a Daleka salute. There you go, Keith. They're just not moving because it was Columbus Day. They'll move tomorrow and they'll be to you ASAP. I appreciate all
Casey, guys will get them probably Thursday, Friday, Saturday, depending on where in the U.S. they are. But everybody should have them by Saturday at the latest.
So that was another fun thing. I do have 2 people in Hawaii and 1 in Alaska, and everybody else was lower 48. If I had to tell you the highest states for orders, it would be California, Arizona. There were a lot in Arizona, Texas, Ohio, Michigan, North Carolina. Those would probably be the ones that stand out to me that had the most people. There were a bunch in some other states too. I just can't remember everything, but those are the ones that were we were having. My oldest son is way into geography and where stuff is, so he would like call out, this one's going to such and such person in such and such city, which is in the northwest part of this state. next to X City, and he would give me all these stats every time. It was a lot of fun. So we know more about where all of you guys live than we probably should. But it was a lot of fun. So thanks to all who gave super chats tonight. You guys are super kind. Just really appreciate it. It'll definitely help with shipping and everything else. So thank you so much, Ben. Thanks, brother. And thanks to JB. Hope he's enjoying his salmon and steaks, and hope you get to go have some dinner, brother. So thanks again, and thanks for watching the Knives Fast channel.